Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Garcia leaks explosive messages. Will Gervonta Davis accept a $1 million rematch? Gervonta defeated King Rai by a knockout in the 7th round in April 2023. A little over a year ago, Gervonta Davis gave Garcia a resounding knockout in 7 rounds. Like any good athlete, King Ryan was not very satisfied with the defeat, and today he is looking for revenge for a stratospheric sum of money. The fight, held on April 22nd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, was one of the most anticipated of the year. It ended in the 7th round when Gervonta landed a solid hook to deliver. Garcia couldn't get up at the count of 10, and Davis emerged victorious. Although they are bitter rivals in the ring, Garcia and Davis have developed a good friendship and apparently exchange messages with some regularity, as demonstrated by recent screenshots that Ryan shared on one of his social media accounts. In the middle of the conversation, Garcia made it clear that he would like to set up a rematch with Gervonta, with a substantial purse in velvet. Although Davis didn't give a concrete answer, the price proposed by Garcia could tempt the current lightweight champ of the World Boxing Association. Will there be a Garcia vs Gervonta Davis rematch? In a message dated May 26, Garcia offered Davis a deal. "Bro, can we run it back again?" referring to a rematch for their fight from April last year. He also proposed a sum for the purse to be short, make 200 millions, the Californians guessed. At the time, Davis still had his fight against Frank Martin pending. "Beat Frank up and let's make real bang," proposed King Rai, and even gave Davis some advice for the fight, saying body shot. "Yep," Gervonta responded, and Garcia reiterated, "Cool body shot, bro. He is weak to the body and to the chin," Davis completed. Ryan maintained his innocence. Garcia couldn't avoid talking about the doping accusations against him. Elsewhere in the conversation, he assured Davis that he had not cheated in the fight against Devin Haney. He even went so far as to say that he could accept a rematch with Haney in a real fight. Undefeated star vows to knock Gervonta Davis out. Gervonta Davis is the money man in the lightweight division, and despite his fearsome power, there is a quiver lining up to have a shot. The Baltimore puncher was inactive for over a year following a statement stoppage of Ryan Garcia in 2023, but recently returned to the ring to defeat Frank Martin in similar entertaining fashion. Now, with one defense of his 135-pound WBA title under his belt, fans want Gervonta to keep his activity and the level of opposition up. Should he want to give a shot to a contender, Keishon Davis is waiting in the wings. The 10-0 pro and Olympic silver medalist is trained by Terence Crawford's coach Brian McIntyre, and was most recently out with a stoppage win over Jose Pedraza. Speaking to social media, Davis said he wants a world title, but not just any, the one that currently belongs to Gervonta. Really, just a world title at this point, man. I done did a lot in this sport, been to the Olympics, knocking guys out, beat a former world champion. I did a lot while I am 10-0, that's why people are watching me right now. So at this point I need a world title to really solidify. I would prefer Gervonta Davis, the top guy. I would go for the top guy if I could choose. I would choose Gervonta Davis. That's I nothing. I would knock his out. Gervonta is a great fighter. Hats off to Gervonta. Everybody knows he has got the power, the skill, he is patient, but I know who I am. The little short can't touch me. Keishon Davis does not currently feature in the WBA rankings, so won't be getting a mandatory shot anytime soon. But he is in number 3 with the WBC, IBF and WBO. He faces Mexico's big hunting Miguel Mandueno this weekend on the undercard of another lightweight champion and a close friend, Shakur Stevenson. Boxing commentator debunks Gervonta Davis low pay-per-view number reports for Frank Martin fight. Gervonta Davis squared off against Ryan Garcia last year in April 22nd. The fight became the highest-grossing event boxing of 2023, with over 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. After that, Davis returned to the ring after a 14-month hiatus from boxing. Fans were excited to see their favorite knockout artist back in action against Frank Martin on June 15th. Despite the hype, there were reports that the event did not do well in regards to pay-per-view. However, a boxing commentator has claimed that the actual numbers are not disclosed to the people. You don't have to believe me or Dan Rafael, just remember that the 150 pay-per-view buys was reported only 2 days after the Tank fight. The pay-per-view numbers aren't tallied that fast. It usually takes 10 days to tally and report the numbers. In a video uploaded to his YouTube channel, he stated that the real figures exceeded 350,000. Despite not having the precise figures, his study and the conjecture indicated that it was higher. Shakur Stevenson compares his feud with Gervonta Davis to legendary rivalry. Is it a matter of time before the star-studded lightweight clash? Shakur is hell-bent on putting on a show against Artyom Aratunyan this weekend in his hometown of Newark, New Jersey. But Stevenson sees this fight as a checkpoint on a collision course toward an eventual mega bout with Gervonta Davis. Such a clash would pit two undefeated fighters and the lightweight world champions against each other, as Davis owns the WBA title and Stevenson holds the WBC. The more Stevenson thinks about the dream fight, the more he believes that Gervonta can do for his career what Errol Spence Jr. did for Terence Crawford's. Spence and Crawford had long been engaged in trash talk and stalled negotiations until they finally fought last July, with Crawford producing a scintillating 9th-round TKO, proving his greatness to naysayers. Stevenson believes a shot against Gervonta can elevate his own star profile and cement his boxing legacy. I definitely wanted to go down as one of the greats, and I want to be in everyone's top 5 for sure, top 3 to 5, Stevenson recently said. For example, with like Bud Crawford, like his situation, I feel like he is being one of the best, being one of the greatest boxers to do it, but he just had the opportunity and needed the opportunity to show it, and I think with Errol Spence, he was the right guy to be there to show how great he truly was. I think with me all it takes is the right fight and the right person. And when pressed to offer who that right person is, Stevenson did not hesitate at all. Gervonta, he said. I think me and Gervonta is the fight. I think everybody thinks that I can't do it, so I like that part about it. Both Davis and Stevenson has mutually maintained their desire to fight each other. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.